Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for checking out another episode. Today, we actually have a car that we're going to be reviewing. We don't typically do this. I just had an opportunity. I got a loaner car from Mercedes-Benz because my Mercedes CLA 250 is actually down. There's a transmission issue with it right now, and it's in the shop for servicing. Whether if it needs a TCU replacement, or if it needs an update, or a tranny replacement, I don't know. That's why I have warranty on it, so I gave it to them to figure it out. They ended up lending me a GLA 250. So I'm just going to show you the car and yeah, go from there. Okay, so this is a 2019 GLA 250 by Mercedes. I've only had the car for a little bit, but yeah, let's do a quick walk around. Very similar color to mine. I believe this is a tri-coat white. It's more of a crossover, not necessarily an SUV and not necessarily a car. One of my favorite features about this specific vehicle is the nice polished aluminum looking lower diffuser. To me, I like that. You know, it gives it a good presence. When you're looking at the vehicle from behind, coming up to it, that nice polished brushed aluminum look looks pretty sweet. As far as the wheels go, I don't think they're really anything special. This is more of just a comfort baseline. They appear to be 18-inch wheels, nothing too spectacular on those. You also have the front bumper grille, very similar design. This one you actually have fog lights too. My CLA 250 does not have fog lights. So under the hood, I'm pretty sure I have the exact same engine as this. What specific model is, I do not know, but it is a 2-liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, and it sounds great. It's actually a lot louder than my Mercedes CLA 250. I don't know why. It could be just the cabin air noises. I don't know, but the turbo on this one actually sounds a lot louder than what my CLA 250 is. It's got the good old LED daytime running lights along with the xenon headlamps also. It's got the full glass panorama moonroof, and this entire center panel actually lifts up and slides back. This is a stationary piece over here, but you do get a view from your rear seat passengers. One thing that I'm super jealous compared to my CLA 250 is that this actually has a pop-out backup camera. Mine does not have a backup camera. I was extremely shocked. It's a 2015 and it's a Mercedes. I mean, you kidding me? You don't have a backup camera? That's pretty nuts. Like, mine has the front and the rear parking sensors like this one does, but seriously, no backup camera? What the heck, guys? One thing that I've noticed right away is, compared to my CLA 250 and this GLA 250, is that the cabin size seems to be actually roughly about the same. Headroom, you know, arm room, how far I can go back in the seat. It all seems to be actually very similar, and I think that's exactly what it was specifically designed for. This is more the crossover GLA 250, and for the car CLA 250, they share essentially the same platform. It's just one's a crossover, one's a car. At a first glance, everything is very similar to me, from the steering wheel controls each side, the paddles, both sides, plus and minus. However, this wiper arm stock is a little bit different, because it's got the rear wiper adjustment there, whereas mine, it's a car, it does not have the rear wiper. Even the gear select stock is exactly the same as my CLA 250. You know, you got down for drive, up for neutral, up for reverse, and then push in for park. So for the headlight switch, it's in the exact same spot, exact same configuration also, with electronic parking brake underneath it. However, on this one, you have the front fog lights paired with the rear fog lights. I had the rear fog lights on my car, but not the front fog lights. The seat adjustments in the door panel is exactly the same. You know, you have your bottom seat adjustment here, slide forward, up and down. You have your backrest adjustment. This plate here is for the headrest. That is a dummy plate because you actually manually adjust the headrest. Biggest complaint on these cars, I find actually on a lot of the newer Mercedes, these infotainments suck. They are horrible. You have to use a stupid scrolly wheel to change everything. You have a back here, and then you have also other controls here. This one doesn't actually have the navigation memory card installed it, but for example, I wanted to go to the navigation. You literally have to use the scrolling wheel to go A, B, C, D to spell out your word. It is horrible. It's not even touch screen. Like, come on, guys. And then when you're actually following your route on the navigation, if you want to even, you know, scroll up the couple streets to see where you are, you can't do that. The only thing you can do is you can zoom out, you can zoom in. But as soon as you start zooming out, you lose your street names and everything. And you can't even, like I said, like say for example, this is your smartphone and you want to check out what's over here. You can't just go over there and it'll start showing you what's over there. You can't do that. These buttons here on my car, they're all blacked out. First thoughts were that I actually like this design. I thought it was actually a little bit nicer than mine, you know, a little bit more higher end-esque. However, driving in the summer with the sun glaring off these, it is horrible. They actually, like, the glare from the sun hits them and then blinds you. I don't actually like this after I've driven in the sun with these. One of the things I also noticed right away on top of the silver buttons here is that this whole center trim piece here, this is more of like a dull wood finish, whereas mine, it's a very glossy black with a slight wood finish like this. But this is definitely more noticeable. Everything else seems to be exactly the same, as the exception that this cup holder, it doesn't have a lid like mine does, but that's okay. And the armrest, you still have the 2 USB ports. So there's that beautiful panorama moonroof that I was telling you about, and then there's also the back seats. Sitting in the back seat, it's pretty much what you expect from a smaller vehicle. Not much leg room, you know, fitting bigger guys back here, it's doable, but you guys won't be comfortable by any means. You know, I'm about 5'8", and this, for me, it's doable, but I can get tired pretty quickly sitting in this specific position. But yeah, it's not too bad. So like I said, the sunroof for the passengers, and then also there's the moonroof for the driver and the front passenger. Above me, I have a black bar that shows me when I'm reversing how close I am to each side of the vehicle to an object. So that is handy, but even better, like I said, this model has the backup camera where my CLA 250 does not. But that's still a good added feature. For the back passengers, they even have auto down and auto up windows. I believe it's common for Mercedes nowadays to have auto up and auto down windows on every single window, whereas a lot of manufacturers only have auto up only on the driver's side. It's definitely handy to have them on every single window. The trunk area, very similar to what you would expect. In order to get a decent sized cargo room, you're sacrificing a little bit more cabin space. One interior feature I'm pretty jealous of on this car, I don't know if it'll pick up very well on the camera, you actually have a Mercedes logo glowing on the floor. You can kind of see me wiggle it back and forth just by moving the door. It's actually built into this marker light here. So you can kind of see it on my hand, the Mercedes logo. That's sweet. I would really like to add that onto my car, and I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard. You just pop this out, swap it out for the other. Okay, so let's go for a quick drive and see how the car performs. So like I said, there's a few differences in this car compared to my CLA 250. One of the other features that are different are the seats. These seats are more traditional with like a separate headrest and everything, whereas mine, it's actually all in one headrest where it kind of slopes like this. This seems to be a little more, you know, familiar, a little bit more comfortable to me, where I'm not feeling like I'm leaning so far forward. But, you know, over time you get used to those seats. This is just a little bit more familiar, that's all. I'm not really too sure if it's super loud in here, guys, or not. I apologize if it is. I'm not really too sure what's going to happen to the CLA 250, if it's down for the count, if it's getting replaced, what specifically is going on with the transmission. I don't know if the transmission issue that I was experiencing is a nothing, or if it's actually a big problem. If it is a big problem, well, you know what? I think we're gonna go car shopping and get something else, because that is something I do not want. Like, that car only has about 48,000 kilometers and it's already experiencing a transmission issue. No thank you. I'm gonna move on to something else. I personally feel that it's got to be something serious, because they told me that they're going to be getting Mercedes Canada involved and that they need to get me into a loaner car because they're going to be needing it for a couple of days. So at low speeds, cruising around feels actually pretty good. For this vehicle, it has multiple driving modes, just like the other Mercedes. However, this one comes with an additional feature called a comfort mode. Comfort mode one seems to be a good in-between between the actual eco mode and between the sport mode. However, on the eco mode, on this model, I find it to be very weird. Normally, when you're off the gas, you know, you continue at your RPM and you keep on coasting. Whereas on this one, as soon as you get off the gas, it's automatically neutral until you apply it onto the gas again. It really threw me off the first couple times I experienced it, especially cruising at highway speeds or even just throughout town. It will go into a neutral state, so it will just go back to like an idle speed, whereas normally it just continues on going at whatever RPM you're at, and then eventually goes slower and slower. Whereas, like I said, this one, it just goes right into a neutral state. It goes down to an idle RPM and you literally coast. I don't know if that's really gonna be super economical as far as fuel economy goes. If it makes a big difference, I don't know. But for me, I don't like it. It feels like I'm not in control of the vehicle anymore. I like to feel that the vehicle has resistance. I like to have driver feedback, and where you're literally in a coasting neutral state, it's kind of odd. Now, a couple of the other things too that I've been noticing is that, so with the engine noises and the turbo, I hear a lot more feedback compared to my CLA 250. I kind of like it. And when you punch it, it feels pretty good. Now, I'm not an extensive car review channel. It's just, I ended up getting this vehicle, like I said, from Mercedes, because my car's in the shop currently. So I figured, you know what, why not? I don't have an opportunity like this very often to test drive higher end vehicles. And this is a pretty nice crossover. So I figured, you know what, why not? Let's try it out and see how it is. I don't know how much turbo noises are coming through the camera, but it definitely sounds a lot better than my CLA 250. It's not as muffled. You can actually hear the turbo whistle, and when you let off, you can actually hear the diverter valve go. The Euros like to call them diverter valves. They're blow-off valves to me. Come on, let's be honest. But the Euros, for some reason, they like to call them diverter valves. As far as like an overall driving experience, I like this one. You know, you got a pretty awesome panorama moonroof, like I showed you before, and makes great turbo noises. All around, pretty responsive car. Okay, guys, like I said, one of the things that I absolutely hate about this whole infotainment system is that it's not very user-friendly. To me, it feels very old, very dinosaur. However, online, you can actually get an aftermarket unit. So it replaces this screen. You see how this screen is currently set up between all of the air vents? Well, the aftermarket unit that you can buy online, roughly around $500 US, is that it actually makes it flush. So the edge of the screen will now be here, and the edge of the screen will be right here. So pretty much the entire width of the air vents is the new screen, and it's actually going to be running an Android system. It just plugs into your factory unit in behind here. What you do is you take out this vent, and there's two screws in behind that this whole unit slides out. And then this unit somehow pops off also. I haven't figured that one out yet. But then everything is plug and play. You got a new GPS antenna that you can tuck away somewhere too. And then your vehicle runs full Android now. So now you can do the YouTube, you can go on the internet, you can do a lot more cooler things, and it's a lot more user friendly. If, big if, I end up keeping the CLA for a little bit longer, that's definitely one feature I'm gonna add, because like I said many times before, this interface sucks. Okay guys, well that's gonna do it for me. Thanks a lot for checking out this video. It's a little bit of a different one for me. Normally I don't do car review videos, but like I said, Mercedes-Benz ended up giving me this as a loaner vehicle, so I figured, you know, why not? I don't get a chance to do this that often, so I figured it'd be a pretty cool video for you guys. A little bit of shorter one, but make sure you subscribe to the channel and you check out my Instagram channel also. Links in the description for that. Hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for checking out the video. We out.